At 2:13 in the morning, a terrified woman ran barefoot down a freezing highway outside of Cleveland with a chain hanging from her ankle. A truck driver nearly hit her before stopping just inches away. The woman collapsed in the middle of the road, shaking violently. "Please help me," she cried. "He's going to kill me." What police discovered hours later inside a quiet suburban home shocked the entire country. Hidden behind the walls of that house was a chamber of torture, secrets, and evidence connected to women who had disappeared years earlier. And the man responsible looked like the kind neighbor nobody would ever suspect. Her name was Rachel Turner, 28 years old. She had recently moved from Portland after a painful divorce, hoping to rebuild her life. Rachel worked late nights at a diner in the city and mostly kept to herself. That was where she met Daniel Harper. Daniel seemed perfect, well-dressed, soft-spoken, generous. He always sat in Rachel's section, tipped well, and remembered every little thing she told him. After weeks of talking, he finally asked her out. At first, Rachel hesitated. But Daniel was patient and charming. He made her feel special at a time when she felt completely alone. Within a few months, they were officially together. Her co-workers thought she had finally found a good man. But they were wrong. Very wrong. Daniel lived in a large house far outside the city. Quiet neighborhood. No close neighbors. No cameras nearby. At first, Rachel loved it. Daniel cooked dinner for her, bought her gifts, and talked about building a future together. Then little things started changing. He became controlling. He constantly asked who she was texting. He got angry when she stayed too long at work. He wanted passwords to all her accounts. Rachel thought it was jealousy. But it slowly became something much darker. One snowy night, she came home late after her shift. Daniel was waiting in the kitchen. Without warning, he slapped her so hard she fell against the refrigerator. Rachel stood there frozen in shock. A few minutes later, Daniel started apologizing and crying, blaming stress and alcohol. Rachel believed him. That was the beginning of the nightmare. Over the next several months, Daniel took complete control of her life. He convinced her to quit her job. He monitored her phone calls. He removed locks from the bathroom doors. Whenever Rachel argued or disobeyed, Daniel punished her. Sometimes he locked her in the basement for hours. Sometimes days. The basement had no windows. Only a mattress and chains attached to pipes along the walls. Rachel slowly became weak, isolated, and terrified. The woman she used to be disappeared. And Daniel enjoyed every second of controlling her. But the most horrifying discovery came one night when Daniel accidentally left a cabinet unlocked. Inside, Rachel found dozens of photographs. Pictures of women. Bruised women. Crying women. Terrified women. One photo caught her attention immediately. A blonde woman staring into the camera with fear in her eyes. Written behind the photo was a name. Emily. Rachel suddenly remembered hearing about a missing woman years earlier. Emily Dawson. Never found. Rachel realized she was living with a killer. And if she stayed any longer, she would never leave alive. That same night, Daniel caught her holding the photographs. The expression on his face terrified her more than anything before. Not anger. Not panic. Just cold silence. "You shouldn't have seen those," he whispered. Rachel tried to run, but Daniel tackled her before she reached the door. He dragged her to the basement, chained her ankle to a pipe, and left her there for 2 days with almost no food. Rachel believed she was going to die. Then Daniel made one mistake. After drinking heavily one night, he forgot to properly secure the chain around the pipe. Rachel noticed the latch was loose. Slowly, carefully, she twisted the metal free. Every second felt like forever. Finally, the chain slipped loose. Rachel immediately ran upstairs, through the kitchen, and out the front door into the freezing darkness. She could hear Daniel screaming behind her. She ran as fast as she could down the empty road while the chain dragged loudly behind her ankle. Then headlights appeared. A truck. Rachel stumbled into the middle of the road, waving her arms desperately before collapsing. The driver stopped immediately. When Daniel saw another witness, he disappeared into the darkness. Police arrived minutes later. Rachel was rushed to the hospital with broken ribs, dehydration, and severe injuries. But she was alive. What investigators discovered inside Daniel Harper's home horrified even experienced detectives. The basement contained restraints, hidden cameras, and evidence connected to several missing women cases dating back years. Behind a hidden wall, police discovered human remains later identified as Emily Dawson, the same woman from the photograph. The story exploded across national news. Neighbors described Daniel as quiet and polite. Nobody suspected the evil hidden inside his home. Daniel was arrested while trying to flee near the Canadian border. At trial, Rachel testified about months of abuse and torture. The courtroom sat in complete silence as she described everything she survived. Daniel Harper was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Rachel later moved away and started a new life under a different name. But even years later, she admitted she still feared hearing footsteps behind her at night. Because some scars never fully disappear. And sometimes the most dangerous monsters are the ones who smile the most.